Welcome back to Pleasure School. Today, Nick and I are going to do a Q&A for you. We've put the call out for questions from Pleasure School students, and we've got a few sitting here on my phone that we're going to answer. So thanks for writing in, and we're sorry if we can't get to everyone's question today, but we're doing our best to get through as many as possible. So, and introducing my beautiful partner, Nick, who most of you know.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching and for sending in your questions. I actually haven't read these yet, so I'm going to be going off the cuff, which is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm going off the cuff too. I prefer it that way. I prefer just to answer how I feel at the time. So, hey Juliet and Nick, thanks a lot for this incredible work you're doing. I have a lover right now, and if it wasn't for your teachings, I would never get this deep in sex with her. But now, the thing is that I'm so deep and warming to her, and she loves that. But I know this is not the woman I want, at least for the time being, to have kids and create a family. But she helps me a lot in reaching new levels of deep intimacy. How should I tell her, or how should I approach the subject? Should I be raw and tell her what I feel? Cool. And I thought this was a really good one because, you know, it's definitely possible to have, I feel it's possible to have really deep connections, deep intimacy and sex with someone, but not necessarily, not necessarily see them in our future as, say, the parent of our children or somebody who we want to be in relationship with. So what I want to say first to this one is, like, it's really normal to feel this way. There's nothing wrong with feeling like you want to spend lots of time with her, but also knowing deep down that she's not somebody who you want to, say, settle down with anytime soon. So, yeah, have you got anything to add before we actually answer how they should approach the topic?
I think it's good awareness that, this person asking the question is in an honest relationship with themselves. So that's a really good place to step forward from. So yeah, the clarity that is articulated in that is a great insight to begin with.
That's a good point, yeah. So how should I tell her, or how should I approach the subject? Should I be raw and tell her what I feel? What's your opinion?
Yeah, exactly that. Be raw and tell her how you feel. There's a developed way to communicate, and then there's a undeveloped way to communicate, essentially. So, you know, seek for transparency, honesty, empathy in how you breach this conversation. Transparency is paramount, though. So be mindful of any part of you wanting to protect or buffer or dull down your truth, because, you know, to protect your lover. It will have the reverse effect if you are dishonest in any way. So create safety, bring into the space reverence and honoring, but also remove any fluff, and where you can, like, be direct, be penetrative, and that is a very respectful way to communicate what you've made the realization of for yourself to your lover.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think it's so important that we're transparent and honest and authentic with how we're feeling. And because if you can talk to her about that and she knows that, then it's actually going to create even better sex if you continue to enjoy sex together and intimacy, because it's kind of dropped some walls down. And so either way, it's going to create deeper connection, and that doesn't have to be long term, like we've said. But I think what you said is great, and I just think there's no easy way to do it. It may feel a bit nervy, it may feel scary, but she will thank you for it, even if at the time she's upset. Yeah. She will thank you for it in the long term, and you're setting her free and you're setting yourself free.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's it's impossible to control somebody's reaction to truth. So trying to do that is a form of manipulation. So be direct, be clear in your truth. That will land on her how it does, and it will assimilate as it was intended, or it will trigger whatever is alive in her that's unresolved, but that's out of your power, out of your control. What is in your control is honesty. So choose honesty, because that is a greater expression of love. Like you said, even if it creates, rocks the boat, and it might, but it's in the higher good for sure.